Hello everybody, my name is PixelGoat, and before this video begins, I'm not going to be editing any of this out. I'm already fucking up, but you see, I don't usually do these things on this channel, but since I kind of abandoned the Mr. Goat, then why not do it here? And since I'm obsessed with this game, then I'm probably going to go back and face the granny again and try to get all the bottles and 100% the game. I figured why not through a theory. And because of the new DLC that came out, now before you go in the comments, I don't really believe my own theory, but you know what, it's just a fun thing I want to say. So, apparently in the depths there's the granny. Now, more on that later. Okay, so in the game, you play as a little girl named Six, and in the new DLC, you play as a kid named the Runaway Kid, or I don't know if he's officially called this, but maybe, but I think his name might also be Seven. What do we know about Seven? Well, not much so far. However, what my theory is about is that everything that's going around us is in the imagination of not just 6 or 7, but of every kid inside the MAW. And I think the MAW is an orphanage. Now, and here's why I think this. The reason why I think this is because everything is so big around you. Everything. We'll get to the guests and stuff later, but for now, let's just say. Okay, so since everything is so big around you, I mean, for a small child, it would make sense, right? As a small child, the world around you is a lot bigger. And for your imagination, maybe these kids are over-exaggerating how big the place actually is. And the reason why everyone is so gross and disgusting, well, let me just get to the chefs. Now, the chefs prepare the kids' meals. Or they provide for the guests, and more on the guests later. As the chefs are preparing, they look hideous. They look gross. They seem to be really fat and wrinkly. Now, people who work at school lunches or like any lunch, chefs don't tend to look that pretty. They usually look hideous and fat and wrinkly. So the kids might be over-exaggerating this as well, over-exaggerating how gross they are. And as the kids are disobeying what they're supposed to be doing, of course the chefs have to, take them back to their rooms or capture them as they're preparing the food because they don't want them messing with the food. Now on to the leeches. The leeches, it was kind of hard to comprehend, but in a few seconds of my thought, I came up with it. As for the leeches, I mean, this orphanage might not seem the cleanest. It seems like everyone here is probably mean. And of course they don't really take care of themselves. There are leaking pipes and things, and that can which leads to leeches. And since the kids are small, and as a little child, leeches are like the devil. So of course they're the same size as you, and they restrain you and suck your blood. It only makes sense, doesn't it? The leeches are gross. They're slimy. They're nightmarish. When you play a 7 in his campaign, they block up a pipe and you have to throw something at them and then they'll go to attack you. They seem to swim fast in the water. Gross little maggots, huh? And it seems like they'll stop at nothing to try to get to you. And they seem to work together, as if they were creating a huge monster. As a kid, of course we would probably think this, which is why the leeches play a part. And here's something else for you guys. The janitor. Now, first off, if they did have any, like, weird TV, they would probably play some retarded sitcom, but I don't know how orphanages work. I don't even think they have TVs, but Now, as for the janitor, cleans up, or so they say. He barely does his job. The janitor seems like he's hunched over, wrinkly, and he has long arms. The kids see him this way because, number one, the janitor might be an old man. And he's always capturing the children. But why is he capturing the children? Well, maybe the children are trying to escape this orphanage. And because they're trying to do that, the janitor's job is not just to clean up the messes, which he doesn't even do, but to clean up the children. He's meant to take the children back to their rooms or discipline them in some way, or just like carry them back. He's hunched over because he's an old man. He makes weird sounds like because the kids see him like that. He also has long arms because he always seems to capture them. So of course they would imagine him with long arms. As for the lady, she is the keeper of the orphanage. She is a mean lady who only cares about herself. And she treats everyone like garbage. She doesn't care for the kids, she only cares about herself. She wears a mask because on the outside she might be a nice lady. However, on the inside, behind that mask, she could be a nasty, ugly, hideous monster on the inside. And that's what she's trying to let people know. She acts nice on the outside, but on the inside, she's a monster. And she also has this dark power that can pick up a kid and it's black smoke. She is basically these children's nightmares, and they refer to her as a monster. As for the guests, well, the chefs prepare them food, and then after their feast, they go on and they want to adopt a kid. Now, some kids are like, want their parents back. They want their parents back. They don't want these people. So they portray these people as gross, ugly, horrible people who are fat and lazy and who will not care for them. Like the man in this picture trying to grab Six. He wears a mask to try to look nice, but he's a monster on the inside. Even though that mask is pretty stupid and he looks mad, but Six, if you read the comics, she probably had a family. She was just wandering on the streets by herself. Maybe she ran away from home or something. And then this man called the Shadow or something is supposed to grab children. And as he grabs children who are quote unquote alone, this means that Six was falsely taken to the orphanage and is trying to escape. As she's probably been there before. And she doesn't like it there. No kid likes the orphanage. So that's why they're there. So yeah. That's my theory on this. And the whole place looks like a prison, which for the kids, for some orphans, the orphanage might seem like a prison because it acts and feels like a prison. You have to get food on a certain time. You can't escape, or else they'll put you back in your room. And everyone around you who is an adult is gross and hideous, and everyone is trying to escape because they don't want to be there. They'd rather be alone than be adopted by the guests who are fat, ugly monsters. Oh yeah, I forgot to touch on the granny. The granny is also in the nursery of the mall, which is in the lower. The nursery, well, of course I would see the old woman as disgusting and scary. And they feel like prey, and she's a shark, which is why, especially towards Seven really doesn't like her. And for that, he electrocutes her. Maybe Seven commits murder. It feels like, or maybe it's just leaky. And since it's leaking everywhere, he feels like he's in the ocean. At exaggeration. And the granny, or the nursery keeper, is trying to get him back, but he doesn't like that. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this theory. Yeah, it was kind of long, too. Yeah. I'm gonna try to 100% the game. I might try to play Pac-Man later on, but yeah, anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys want me to do this some more later on. So, yeah. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.